Hey everybody, welcome to Sunday Funday with Paul and Judy.
I'm Paul.
And I'm thirsty.
Judy. Cheers.
Cheers, everybody. Hope you're having a great weekend wherever you are. Be sure to let us know when you write in from what city you're watching, because we still always love to see those.
Mm-hmm.
We should have told our guest about that ahead of time. Have
Where
we
he's
ever
from?
counted up all the cities that we've heard from?
No, it got too overwhelming.
We have all 50
we're
states.
so popular.
No, it was
Just ask
really
us.
fun.
Yeah.
We had just a huge amount of different cities that
But
were
it's
coming
funny
in.
when we don't say tell us where you're from, fewer people say it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So they need
Very
to be
true.
told what to do. So get a
Like
big
that.
envelope, stuff it with money.
Well, we have a great show planned for you
Mhm.
today. One of the things that I mentioned in the promotion of this show is that all month long, we've been joined virtually by guests, and it's been so much fun and just kind of changing up the show a little bit. So we're going to try to keep that going as often as possible. And we got in touch. The thing that's so interesting about this is, I think, because it's just as you said, if you're not told or something is taken away from you, you want it that much more.
Right.
And so I miss all these people. And so it's kind of like we're reaching out and saying, hey, how are you doing? Are you doing well? How's your family? All that kind of thing. But it makes me want to get in touch with them, and even more so than I did when we were allowed.
Yeah, we're still doing the virtual Zoom with your family.
Yes, we
Although
did that again on Friday.
We decided it may be too much, so it's going to be every other week now.
Yes, everybody said, I guess we need to build up some more news to have something to talk about. We're all just sitting there staring at the boxes
Like
in the
a
Zoom
big
call.
Brady Bunch box of the Zoom call.
Yes.
But yeah, we this is going to be an encore guest, right?
Yes, we've had
So
this person on
He didn't have
before.
enough punishment the first time. But shall I introduce him?
Yeah, let's do
Okay.
that. Okay. I'm going to bring him up as
This
you
is-
introduce him.
Yeah, this
okay?
is going to take a while.
All right. All right.
So a lieutenant corporal in the United States Marine Corps. Now notice I didn't say ex, former, or retired.
I did notice that.
Because once a Marine, always a Marine. An actor. And actually we saw him do something in that bodybuilder thing.
Mm-hmm.
Bodybuilder, obviously, public speaker, comedian, and a brilliant one. And I do not use that term lightly.
No.
I really don't. He's author of a book. I believe it was Laugh Your Abs Off.
Well, he's actually on screen right now, so you can ask him.
Oh.
Hi, Tim. Welcome to the show.
Wait, I'm not done. I have another half hour.
Oh, hold on.
Uh,
I'll get to you in a minute.
he wrote the Laugh Your Abs Off. He is a chef and TV personality.
Yes.
He's on a local show here. He's also been on HSN as a chef, and he's cooked for us, so I can vouch for his cooking as well. More importantly, a father and a husband to Amber and our friend.
And our friend. How can I welcome him?
I guess so. I guess so.
Hey, it's great to have you back, buddy.
You guys look really unquarantined. This has been good.
Thank you. Well, we want to welcome you in with our
Cheers.
traditional
Official.
toast. So I hope you have something to drink.
I do actually. I'd like to thank my sponsors. Toast to you both. This is a Protini. So I'm sponsored by Redcon One and Tito's Vodka.
I was going to ask you if what was ever in
That's-
that red cup was something green and good for you. I wasn't quite sure what
Not
you have.
I like chocolate with a little almond milk and a couple shots of vodka, and it's a good after workout.
All right. So then,
cool down.
so then I want to ask you how in the world you are maintaining this physique.
Oh, I'll never see that again.
Hey, I thought they did away with the swimsuit competitions in the pageants
Well, they did away with my Q&A. Go.
because you didn't believe in world peace.
My outdoor gym, I said to Amber, they're closing the gyms. And she got online, eBay, Craigslist, whatever kind of, you're going to be abducted or you're going to get a good deal kind of thing we found. And we found an entire weight set, pull-up bar. I have a new product coming out from Teeter Fitness that's a multi-sectional, it's called FitForm. And it's a pulley machine that does anything you want to do. And so I've just been out in the backyard like it's Muscle Beach in the old school, like I'm Arnold back in 72.
That's great, though.
I want something that will do anything I want it to do, like get me a beer.
Are you getting ready for another competition?
So in that picture, I was 4th in the country in the over 50 division. and I needed to be second to get my pro status.
Okay.
So I walked off and I said, honey, I was top 5. Let's retire. And she said, you didn't come here for top 5, Jack. Yeah. So they just moved my competition, thanks to COVID, to September and October. So I'll do nationals again, September, October, and try to get my pro status.
Wow.
No, maybe some of those guys, well, I guess it'd still be over 50. I was going to say, once they get over 60, do they get into a different division?
The 55 and 60 is a different division. Yeah. But I'll tell you, over the years, I've said, okay, when I get 40, it's going to get easier because they're old. And I get there and they go, wow, these guys look really good. After it got worse, I walked into the backstage area for the over 50s and I looked around and I said, none of these guys look 50.
I'm in the wrong room.
That's crazy. Yeah. Well, it must take incredible discipline in order to, I mean, how long do you have to prepare for one of those competitions?
I took 1.5 years off for that show and then dieted for 16 weeks hard.
Yeah. And
so this time well, they moved it. So now I'm 19 and 23 weeks out from the big shows. So June 12th, I'll fire my diet back up.
Oh, okay. So you're going to wait until that 16-week prior time frame because you know that that's sort of the perfect window to get yourself ready?
Yeah, that's all you can handle. If not, well, I can handle it. That's all my marriage can handle. Because if she has to smell broccoli and tuna one more time.
Yeah.
Well, we were fortunate enough to witness the blessed event when they got married.
Yeah.
So was that 2 years ago? When was that?
2 years ago, and you guys made that wedding, by the way. The location was nice, but the party, the dancing, the everything was nothing but Paul and Judy. We have pictures of you guys.
Let's
gotta see the video.
We have to get to the comedy because that's something that has certainly always fascinated me, and different people have different styles. Sometimes it's a shtick like the Gilbert Gottfried in his voice, or it's the I was thinking of Joe Mackey. He has that sort of innocent, doe-eyed look, and then he pulls out. But there's people that just observe life and are incredibly funny. And the first time that we saw Tim do a live show, we had no idea what to expect. And there he went for about 45 minutes of solid, gut-busting fun.
Yeah. Are you getting back into that? Have you got a date set, or are you on hold for all that stuff?
Well, I tour with people like Dennis Miller and Kathleen Madigan, and Miller's just starting to come show his face again. So I'm hoping he comes out east. And then Kathleen Madigan just called recently and said, hey, I've got dates in June and July. So I'm ready to go out and do more shows with Kathleen. And she's incredibly funny, and her audiences are so smart. I'm just ready to get out of the house. I'm doing shows at Publix right now. If you want to you laughing behind the mask, but I want you to come to the show.
Yeah, right. Oh, well, we miss him terribly. We miss you terribly. We've been talking about getting together with all you guys forever. And let me show a little bit of that too, because maybe you can tell us who all these people are, Tim.
All right. The big one holding the child on his head is Connor. You guys would not believe, since we all met, he's almost 27 now.
Oh, wow.
Tammy, my daughter, in the middle is 21. And then the new ones, we have 2 factory and 1 aftermarket child. The one on Connor's shoulder is Landon. I adopted her last August.
Oh. So we have not met her yet.
No, we haven't. That's very cool. And I'm sorry. I hope everybody was able to hear that. We had one of those really loud cigarette boats go by just in the middle of your conversation. I apologize. It's such a beautiful day here.
Drug running is still an essential business.
Yes.
Yes, exactly. Well, that's fun to see. And you were talking about your daughter also being in that picture. But there's another shot that I really want to bring up because I know how proud you are of this young lady. So that was Visitor's Day on Army Boot Camp graduation weekend. And that was the moment that we both realized we had dog tags on. They call them ID tags now. That was one of the 3 times in 24 hours that I cried like a baby. Oh.
And the other 2 were pretty darn good. Give me choking up now. So that was graduation. That was the day before graduation when she gave us a tour of the base. And then we waited until after the graduation day. And she said, can you guys hang out for a little bit longer? Sure. I don't know, what do you got going on? She said, I'm getting some award. It was a Meritorious Boot Camp Graduation Award for Leadership.
Oh, wow.
Whoa. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. And where is she stationed?
Well, she's in the reserves right now, so she's in California. She's finishing out college, and then she wants to get commissioned and go officer.
Okay.
Wow.
Huh?
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That's so cool. Well, congratulations. A very proud dad.
Thank you. Yeah, she's definitely the son I always wanted.
It's actually kind of like Tim Wilkins, or Tim Allen, Last Man Standing.
Yeah.
Where the daughter was a military. Yeah.
Yeah. Military. So I have one more little, I guess, memory that would be really fun to talk about. And it's so funny, Tim, you'll appreciate this because so I put up that shot of you in the bodybuilding competition. And I thought, okay, that's going to grab their attention. They're going to want to watch this show, find out more about that person and what it took to get that body. But then also I thought maybe I should put this one up instead because this will intrigue people too. And then I thought, no, I better not use this shot because they're going to assume that Lionel Richie is our guest today. Tell us about this.
Very famous. If you guys could see the gold records in Judy and Paul's house, it looks like Warner Brothers or EMI Records. These are all the artists we've represented. Yeah, I've been opening for acts since 1998. I started with Earth, Wind, and Fire. And my most recent one, I did a few shows with Lionel Richie. And what an amazing talent. His audiences are 15 to 20,000 people that are there for a good time. He does stuff all the way back to the Commodores.
Uh-oh. We lost you there for a minute.
Lost your audio for 1 second.
Yeah.
There's a running boat. I heard it.
Okay. No, you know what? I thought it was just a former military with a Marine Corps and Commodore.
The Navy and the Marines get together every once in a while.
Is he, go ahead.
What a good count. And he's such a sweet man.
That's what I was just going to ask. Is he a really nice guy?
Well, I missed the photo ops because he was there to take a bunch of pictures with the Tuskegee Airmen that had come to see him, that are his old friends.
Oh.
And he ducked out, and I grabbed the tour manager and said, is he doing a meet and greet? And they said, for you, he is. And he grabbed him in his dressing room and said, Lionel, the comedian's out here. And he ran out, gave me a huge hug, and he said, get your camera, because if there's no pictures, it didn't happen.
That's awesome. But you had met him prior to being hired to do the comedian act before the show?
No, that was the tour manager, the tour booker is a friend of mine who I've actually worked for all the way back to Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Wright Brothers. And I've been working for him for 22 years.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. Who's next on the agenda then?
Oh, back to Kathleen Madigan, but big acts, I don't know. I'm hoping Lionel comes back because we have so much fun. So the next time I worked with him backstage, he came in a little late as I'm walking off stage and ran up and just kind of bear hugged me.
Oh.
And it was so sweet because he said, man, it's so good to have you back. The last two comedians sucked.
Hey, wait a minute. That was me.
You know I travel, right? I'll go with you.
Yeah, for sure. Man.
No, last time you and I spoke on the phone, actually 2 times ago, you were talking about getting the comedy edge back. And I mentioned this when we were promoting you. He said, I've been too happy. You know, so what's bringing your edge back? Is it COVID-19?
Yeah, being home too much.
Being home too much, I'm getting edgier by the second, but in a good way. Happiness was the worst 2 years of my comedy. I lost all my Take My Wife material, all my debt material. It was all gone.
Oh, that's right. I remember what was the comedy bailout? What was it you did?
Oh, the comedy stimulus package. And that featured, you and I, one of our favorites. That featured a lot of the Obama impressions.
Yes. Yeah, no, we don't normally get political, but Tim does the most spectacular Obama impression.
Okay, I have an idea. If I'm able to do it, if my computer cooperates, we're going to try this, Tim. I'm going to take you off screen.
Okay.
I'm going to see if they can still hear you.
Okay.
And we're going to make everyone close their eyes who's watching the show. All right. And then you'll see me and I'll go like that.
I know what to do. Hang on. I'll get out of screen.
Oh. And
we won't risk it at all.
Okay. There you go.
No, hold on. No, stay.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to try it. Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yes.
All right. So we have our eyes closed.
All right.
And we're gonna listen to just you.
At this very crucial time, I would like to endorse
Joe Biden because he is the Democratic candidate. And I was a Democrat, and I would like to say that he is definitely the guy who's running for the job right now. And he will probably be the guy who is on the ballot. So I would like to give him my semi-endorsement and hope that he does a great job with whatever job he gets.
That was awesome.
Oh, you have to understand.
It worked. I'm so happy.
You have to understand that when you watch Tim do this live in his stand-up act, here's Mr. Caucasian, and everybody's suspicious, and he says, "I'm going to do my bum impression. And I'm getting pretty good at it," and everyone's like, "Yeah, whatever, yeah, okay." And then you hear the silence come over the room.
I was doing the LAPCOA, Latino American Police and Corrections Officers Association, national organization. And there were 3 of the Latino Secret Service guys there. They're at the bar getting a beer, and they heard the impression, and they whipped around. And they said, okay, first and foremost, we thought it was him. Second, we're saying, now that we know it's not him, please don't say anything violent. We have to arrest you and question you for hours.
Whoa.
And you said, promise?
Yeah. Can't we search?
No, we talked about this a long time ago, but you were sort of going down the impression route, and then you got somebody give you really bad advice, right?
I've taken a lot of that bad advice over the years. And they said, impressions are going to pigeonhole you. And I used to do 100 impressions in a 30, 45-minute show. And he said, don't do that. It's just going to make you an impressionist. And now there's only 2 or 3 good impressionists. And I would have been one of them. Yeah. So you mentioned like a Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah.
From back in the days when you do Gilbert, it was very simple. You just do him. Yeah. And I could have been one of those guys. And still I try to pepper in because I just love bringing people to life like that. But yeah, it was a pretty horrible piece of advice. And talk about your life, and then I realize at times how very boring my life is.
Well, but if you're still practicing impressions and you still love doing them, why can't you just pick that part of it back up again?
I could, and it's funny because I used to work on them when I drove to gigs, and now without as many gigs to drive to, I don't work out. I can't walk around the house doing Stallone. Amber goes nuts. Hey, honey, bring me a beer or something. Go get me something to eat. Not funny.
Yeah. She doesn't find the humor in that.
Yeah. No matter whose voice it is.
But honey, I'm just getting into character. Shut up.
Get into a different character.
By the way, you guys look great. After this, I'm going to have her cut my hair.
Oh.
And I'm feeling good about it because her mom's a stylist.
Oh, okay.
So I think she's got some, and if it goes well, I'm going to have her do my hernia. Her dad does screen repair, so I figure she's good with the mesh.
No, is she a hairstylist or a clothing stylist? Because you never know.
It doesn't matter.
Or a surgeon, yeah. He's good with mesh.
Actually, I have a serious question about the impressions, though, too.
Yeah, because I love that idea. They're always so good.
You know how your voice sounds different to you than it does in your own head?
Yes. When you hear yourself on tape, it sounds different than what you're hearing. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
There's an old Alec Baldwin bit, and I just saw one of my friends pop up. Hi, Marilee. There's a great old Alec Baldwin bit on SNL where he's a CEO of a company leaving his voicemail message. And he leaves it. And he says, I'm not at my desk right now. Call me back in a few minutes and I'll return your call. Please leave your name and number. And he goes to play it back and he goes, hi, I'm not here right now. Just leave your number. And the deeper his voice goes, I'm not at my desk right now. And he goes, hi guys, I'm not here. Funnier and funnier. So yeah, we sound totally different than what we think.
Oh my God.
Does that get in the way of the impression thing?
Yeah. No? Do you think that you're not as good as you think you are after you've heard your impression?
No, what makes it worse is meeting that person and doing it for that person, and they go, who's that?
That's what President Obama said to you?
There was more than a couple where, what was it? Oh, Bobcat. Bobcat, he's a dear guy. He's a brilliant, brilliant guy. And I'd known him for years, and I didn't ever do that impression around him because I just think it's rude. And somebody goes, you know, he does you. And he goes, he doesn't do me. I have a wife, and she's quite beautiful. And they said, no, he does an impression of you. And he said, okay, do it. And he turns around and he goes, was that John Wayne?
That's spectacular.
Yeah.
Every time you make my hair bigger, I realize, boy, it is. So she's really clipping it right as soon as we're done. We're going to go out in the yard. And she's going to use the dog grooming stuff. So I'm thinking I'm going to look. She's going to do my nails too. So I'm excited.
She could have done it on live. Imagine the ratings then.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, those dog grooming shears work really well. You have nothing to worry about. They're very sharp.
Thank you, Judy.
I used to use them every once in a while on him.
She used to groom the dog.
And then him.
And then me. And then, but the dog would come to me for solace.
Yeah.
Like hiding.
Save me.
Like,
she's got out those things
I
again.
said, no, she's got something in her hand. I'm not getting in the way of this.
And then he would go to the dog and say, only if you save me.
No, you have to understand Judy. Judy will come back from her stylist and then trim some more.
Yeah, I know. I'm so bad. So that's what happens. You know, it gets shorter and shorter because then one side's not even. So then I got to cut the other side a little shorter, and then I'm really not even. So then the back has to be a little short. It's kind of dangerous. But then at the end, I look really good.
If your spouse had, a substance abuse problem or something like that, and you caught them with the bottle or the whatever, but like I'd see like little hairs in her sink. I'm like, you did it again, didn't you?
Yeah. I'm dangerous around scissors.
I'm a hairaholic.
Hi, Judy.
So true, so true. Well, I think I'm good at so many things, and I guess the answer is I'm really not. It's in my own head, just like the impressions.
Speaking of hair and impressions, Amber's actually got this tool that's like a manual Flowbee for the dog, and it's called the Furminator. And literally, it takes off the undercoat and makes them thinner, and because she gets so fluffy and she sheds so bad around the house. And that I will do that impression. I'll do Schwarzenegger. Come now, it's time for the Furminator. Run for the hills.
We haven't talked about one of your many talents, and that's in the kitchen. So
Yes.
You have always kind of been promoting good, healthy eating and healthy lifestyle with your cooking. And you've done some, pretty serious cooking shows.
Yes. And now what I'm going to start doing, because Amber's given me a hard time for a long time, is showing people how to meal prep and how to cook for 2 or 3 days in a row so you can make those easy decisions and cook 2 or 3 meats and 4 or 5 vegetables and just put them in little containers and be ready to go. Because that's how I've lived for 10 years, and that's how I do all my contest prep, is by prepping food in advance. But I'm telling you, most bodybuilders will eat plain boiled everything, good to go. If it doesn't taste good, I'm not eating it.
Yeah.
Right.
Ugh.
So many people say the same thing. Oh, it's not good. Oh, it is.
Well, not only that, the inevitable marriage question, what do you want to eat? I don't know. What do you want to eat? Or where do you want to go? I don't know. Where do you want to go?
Mm-hmm.
That thing about coming home, I know we're all home now, but what are we going to have for dinner? And it's like, I don't know. Well, I'm too tired. Let's just go out or let's order out. Having those ready and prepared is, really makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
It really does. But now laziness is called support your local business. We can feel good about ourselves.
Right.
Local restaurant. You're just too lazy to cook.
Yeah, it's a charity. It's a charity.
We're trying to give back.
We're writing it off.
We watch all the cooking shows. A friend of mine is Robert Irvine from Restaurant Impossible.
We love him. We worked with him.
And he does so much for the veterans. And one of my goals is to get back out, like with the Chris Kyle Foundation and Robert Irvine Foundation, and do more for the veterans. He's all over doing stuff for them. Point of the story, though, is we watch him go into kitchens and go, "What's this right here, mate? What's this? What's this? Schmutz. Are you serving food in this?" And we go, "Oh, I can't ever eat out again." So we eat home 13 days out of 14 because we're just afraid to eat in restaurants.
Yes, the Restaurant Impossible show was definitely funny. I mean, he's angry, mean, Robert, and then he's hugging you at the end, Robert.
Well, he's angry. He's spit it out. This looks like it came out of a diaper. I hate your food. followed by your kitchen is disgusting. What dead animals are these? Because it's not meat, chicken, or fish.
Right.
Followed by marriage counseling. Let's go over your books, and ta-da, your restaurant again. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah.
No, nicest guy. He was a guest back in the day on HSN with his cooking in his pans, and he was always a delight.
Yep. Fun.
Oh,
Do you miss that? Do you miss the shows being on HSN?
I do, and I got somebody else called again yesterday. I miss, you know what I miss about HSN, and it's funny. I love bringing the products to people, and I love it's just such a rush. It's like you guys. I miss my friends.
Exactly.
I miss the camaraderie, and that I don't want to talk too out of school. You guys know this. What we do on there is basically TV Vietnam. And there is a bond among people that have done that more than once for the rest of your life.
Yes,
you don't know, man. You weren't at QVC. You know, there's people that can never truly understand what it's like to be up for 36 hours and still happy and hugging the camera guy.
Yeah. No, that's true. And
is true.
And you really understand what live and now you're seeing this more. I remember back when we were doing all those live shows as hosts, you could always tell who could handle live, even on your local news feeds, when there was a disaster. And I know that sounds funny, but like the sports guys who are used to being thrown to live after every sporting event, it was just falling off a branch. It was,
falling off a log.
Yeah, nothing to it. But the others are like, ah!
No, a lot of my favorite stories when we all first met was hearing the major stars, Emmy Award, Academy Award winners that you worked with that would crumble on live TV.
Yes. And then they're embarrassed about it afterwards. Yeah.
But I remember one guy you told me literally that was throwing up in a bucket saying, I will never do this again.
Who was it? Do you remember who it was?
There were a number of them that were like that.
Rhymes with Quincy.
Yeah.
Oh.
He it was funny because I can say it was Robert Jack Klugman.
Jack Klugman, yeah.
And
glad I'm not the only one who does
he was doing a smoking cessation product, and then we went on the air, and he just completely froze.
Yeah. And then afterwards said, "Thank you. You were great.
He
saved me."
He wouldn't let my hand go.
Yeah.
He said, and he was my last guest on my last show at HSN at the time.
How about that?
And he just said, I just want to thank you that you were great. And I'm like,
no, they don't know what to expect, do they? Especially when they're so used to scripts.
No. And live and the pressure of performance and trying to sell and pitch. And like I said, the bond that we have down there between the people that do this, the makeup people, the prop people, the stylists that do the food who work 10 hours before you and 10
tirelessly. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So true. So what is it like in your family right now? How many people are at home under one roof, not being able to leave the premises?
Well, the big ones are out west doing their thing.
Okay.
They're out in Southern California, so they're good. I've got Landon home, who's 12, almost 13 next month, in 2 months, and Amber. And they're both, Landon has just turned into a little college student. She tricked out the upstairs. She sets an alarm and does her Zoom classes. She's doing her art and doing her thing, and she's just, I don't know if I ever want school to come back. Amber and I are both looking at an empty martini glass going, yes, we do. Go back. Amber's home, but she does animation, and Disney's closed. She does a ton with Disney, so she's just she's home. And you know what? This is one of those marriage tests. You guys are best friends. I have learned I like this woman.
Yeah.
I don't travel anymore.
Yeah. And that's true.
That's so
it's
true,
funny.
isn't
They're talking
so
about
nice.
What was it? There was some story about the COVID divorce. Because people that aren't used to being together that much are now being together that much.
Mm-hmm.
But for us, it's just another day.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's true.
If you want to break up, now they're doing Zoom breaking.
Oh, yes.
Serious. But marriages, you can't kick anybody out now because there's no evictions. So you better break up.
And even if you don't pay your rent,
you get 3 months.
All right, I'm going to pull your family full screen so that everybody can see who you're talking about. just such a great. Where were you when this picture was taken?
That looks somewhere Florida-ish.
Yeah, it almost looks like the Don Cesar, like up on a balcony at a hotel.
I can almost guarantee you it's Disney.
Oh, okay.
And the crazy thing, so Cammie now is an inch or two taller, so she's just an inch shorter than I am. He's 6'4", and then little one now couldn't get on his shoulders if he wanted to because she almost.
That's fun to see. Yeah, it's crazy. Everybody's just kind of trying to figure it out, you know.
And are yours home? Or one was in New York?
Yeah, one's in New York and sheltering in place, and one's in Madrid.
Sheltering in place.
No, I hope so. Madrid of all places.
Of all places. Yeah. She and her roommate are practicing new recipes, cooking for each other. They're doing yoga. They're learning guitar. Luckily they get along.
She's learning Gaelic in Spain.
In Spain. Yeah. They've been quarantined for over a month and a half now. And I think she said middle of May they just keep pushing it off. It was middle of April, then end of April, now middle of May. And so they're kind of waiting to see. And her roommate in Madrid is from Indiana. So, but her boyfriend is from Spain. And they're talking about getting married and living in Spain afterwards. So it's all going to be interesting to see what happens with her, you know, over time. And if she comes back for the summer and then goes back to her teaching over in Spain again, or what happens. So it's a fun age and a great age for them to be doing that kind of thing away from home, you know.
So funny. I just saw her pop up on the screen.
Yeah, Kristen.
I was just talking about those two the other day. So I've been kind of mentoring this kid that's now become like my quasi nephew. And I was talking about the grade point averages that it takes to get into college now. Yeah. And I was referencing your two and how high their GPAs were, which was the same as my blood alcohol content.
Oh, you finally got there?
Finally got there.
Yeah, no, it is funny and it's good. And I wanted to ask you another thing too. When you do go back on tour and you're doing some things, how do you like people to stay in touch with you? Through the website, through Facebook, what?
Facebook is really, really good because I see that more. The website is really good because it comes as an email now because Amber fixed it. And those are the two best. Don't do LinkedIn because I check it about once every 6 months.
Okay.
People go, oh, didn't you get my LinkedIn? Dude, how many social medias do I need?
Yes, welcome to our world. Yes. I know what you mean. So what's the website?
TimWilkins.com.
Oh, that's so hard to remember.
I was available.
Let me write that down.
So one of the things I've been really blessed to have is SiriusXM playing me since 2005. And then I have my own Pandora channel. So if you go to Tim Wilkins on Pandora, it plays me and then a couple people that kind of are similar to me, like John Heffron and Gary Gulman and guys, Tim Allen. And so that's a cool thing to have. And then a couple other channels just pick me up. So it's very cool.
That's awesome. Great. Have you ever met Tim Allen?
I have not. And that's the funny thing. His opening act, Lowell Sanders, is a really good friend of mine. And Tim Allen was going to be my stage name because it's what my grandmother yelled at me when I was little.
Is your middle name Allen?
It's Allen.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
And that was the kind of the serial killer thing that grandparents always did to you. When you were in trouble, you got your middle name. Like,
that's right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Lee. So she used to, instead of Timothy Allen, she'd yell Tim Allen. And I thought, if I'm ever famous, that's going to be my name. And the year I started in comedy was
yes.
Missed it by that much.
We love him. I'd love to meet him. We never have, but we're a big Last Man Standing fans.
That's a brilliant show. I'm so glad they brought it back.
Yeah, me too. And also, we can't go a holiday season without watching every single Santa Claus. 1, 2, and 3. I have to watch every single one.
A big B.
Okay, so we all do our best to eat right and stay in shape.
But
I let the beard grow out in the first couple of weeks, and I was a little paunchy. And my beard started to go white on the sides.
Oh, nice.
Did I fall off a roof?
Yeah. Well, that's true. That's possible.
Well, and
just don't put on the suit.
Just wait till the malls are open again before you become the Santa Claus at the mall.
A little creepy.
But we do. We already said to Tim off camera that when Judy came up with a brilliant name for our cooking segments in the kitchen with Paul and Judy.
I'm so excited. We want you to be our first
He's going to be our first third apron.
Third apron.
The third apron. Don't you love it?
So we're going to put that together.
Wait,
and we'll
hold on. Talk amongst yourselves.
I've been a fifth wheel for most of my life. So
believe me, I was the sixth of 7 kids. So they didn't even know where I was.
No. As long as there was food left over, I guess you were okay.
Yeah. No, that's why I was cooking and doing my own laundry since I was 10 years old. Judy has it. Hold on.
Oh, you got the aprons done already?
I hope you like this color, Tim.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think it'll fit you.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that great?
Gorgeous.
So you can be the third apron.
And eventually we're going to have to stitch the third apron on it.
Yeah, I know, for the show. I know. We'll put it in Velcro, then we can rip it off and we don't have a third.
Right in the middle, like thing 1 and thing 2.
There you go.
So the story is we were buying the aprons. We were having them made. And it was another $10 to get the third one. So
and free shipping.
Yeah, free shipping. You have to get over that threshold of money.
So how could we not get the third apron?
Only home shopping people could say, but wait, there's more.
Yeah, oh yeah. And fall for it. In our business, we fell for it.
Just pay a different fee. Just pay a different fee.
Some inside baseball that people will probably never understand. We've been in a business between us a total of probably 40 years, maybe more because of my 10. I have sat in a green room or 50, 60.
Yeah, 60.
70 including you. 70 including you.
That's right, attaching to 2 of. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Crazy. It's crazy.
How many times have you been in makeup or in a green room or in a lobby and looked up at the TV and said, oh, I got to buy that?
Right? I know. Oh, I used to get calls from my mom multiple times a week. That item number, J23497, that, like, oh my gosh, I became a personal shopper. But yes, it's so addicting and it's so easy. But you're right, we would do the same thing. Getting your makeup done and watching another host sell something and think, oh, that blender looks amazing. I think I got to have that. What's the item number?
No, the worst part of it is,
because we love the products.
It was all live. So the bloopers were also live. But none of us saved and collected all of those. If we did, would all be billionaires right now.
Right?
The funniest stuff happens on TV.
I know. We wish we had those.
I couldn't imagine what you would have assembled over the years.
Yeah. You know, I think downstairs in a coffee table, I have a series of VHS tapes of Get Fit with Judy shows. Because I had a Get Fit with Judy show on QVC for 2 years and loved that show. So much fun. I used to come up with all these motivational tips and they'd run them right before the show. And in the middle, during the breaks, then we'd come back and the bump would be yet another tip and Get Fit with Judy. I saved all of them and I want to kind of revive them because I've looked back at those and those tips are still valid 20 years later.
You just got to get them off VHS before that format goes away.
I know.
Or the tapes might have degraded already.
Yeah.
Sitting in the Florida heat.
I know.
Now, one of my favorites, and we'll all have our stories, but one of my absolute favorites was doing an outdoor-ish patio show with Callie. And we're selling an ice maker. And she's staring at me in a kind of a weird way. And at the last minute, I didn't know that I had a giant mosquito on my face.
Oh, no.
And she just slapped the trash out of me. And then she realized she did it. And she had the giggles for an hour. It was and every time she would raise her hand to point at something, I would it would make her laugh again for another 30 to 45 seconds.
Yeah, gun shy. Oh, yeah.
Hit you. Yes.
And getting the giggles. That is, I mean, it's like being in church and not being allowed to laugh because you're supposed to be quiet, but you get the giggles on camera and it's genuine, it's sincere. And I would have tears streaming down my face sometimes. And you just, they eventually would have to go to break or cut to a model shot or something, get you a tissue, using your sleeve. Oh, but
and people don't know that your producer and or director are trying to make you laugh and unsuccessfully, and they get even angrier and they try even more.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh, so fun. Hey,
there was always someone in your ear. Are you wearing that shirt? Seriously? How have you watched it in the last 6 months? Someone's saying something horrible to you. Oh wow, you really got to zip up your zipper first chance you get, and it's zipped up. But they want to mess with you, and it is hilarious when you find out, and you're trying to maintain a conversation, sell a product, and talk to a host at the same time, and there's a producer near having games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Or sometimes they would even be having games from home with each other, and they would say, "Oh, I can make the host say aardvark. You watch." No, you can't. Oh, yes, I can.
And then they make money. They get a free drink at the bar.
And the host would always prove that they could fit whatever that word was into the conversation, because you could almost hear the laughter at their home from having done it. The challenge.
My favorite is when they would be in my ear saying, "Judy just called in and said, why are you wearing that shirt with that jacket? She laid out all of your clothes for you." That is a true story.
Yes, I finally got to a point where I was very glad to have mobile devices that would have a camera on them, so I could lay the clothes out, take a picture, and then
Yeah, because she would do that for me. But then by the time I get to the hotel, who knows what gets taken out in what order.
Another one of the many benefits of having a wife that plays garanimals with your clothes before you leave.
That's right.
It's the rhino. It goes with a rhino.
Right.
It goes with a lion.
Yes. And Tim, has Amber ever pulled this one? You're not wearing that shirt, are you?
Oh, yes.
So he says, no, this was just my practice
shirt in case I spilled something on it while I was waiting for you to get ready.
Between now and the time I walked to the front door to leave.
Prime example of yet again why we need wives. So we tested the signal the other day because Judy's that smart, and it looked horrible behind me, and that Amber's not going to stand for that. She's technical. And I said, well, great, let's build a set. She said, or we could turn the computer. Great idea. Turn the computer.
That was going to be the next thing I said. That was very
right after get out the equipment.
Too much information, Tim.
Way too much.
All right. I guess we've taken enough time.
Yeah, we've had enough fun, I guess, for one day. Will you do this again with us, though?
Any day. I'll be your encore guest.
Okay, can we get one more impression? If we put you out of the screen, will you do one more for us?
Yeah. Let me think of a montage.
Okay. All right. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. And go.
So it takes a group of presidents to get together. What I've done is I've painted a picture of a COVID. I heard that's what it is. It's like a Corona, but it's different. It tastes different.
Corona without the lime.
It's light. It's like a smaller Z. If there's one thing that you should be grateful for, that my wife is not quarantined with you.
And on that note.
Oh, you guys.
This is a different kind of Disney's Hall of the Presidents.
It's the Hall of D-Presidents.
Well said.
I miss you guys.
You too,
we miss you
we'll
too.
See you soon.
Our best to Amber, and good luck with the haircut. Hang on to your ears.
Oh yeah, we want to see you before and after.
Boot camp. It'll be fine.
Bye, Tim. We love you.
I love you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
He is funny.
Oh my gosh, isn't that fun, you guys? He's just a riot, and that's both in person and on a show. That's just he's that way all the time.
He's always on.
Yeah, we should have had him do the impression that he did with us when we were all together, and he was talking about the phone calls that he would get. And he would turn into a different person on a phone call, either somebody asking for money, or
it's the solicitation calls that you dread.
Right.
It was just comedy for him. So what? Do we have more business to take care of before we're done?
Well, yeah, because we decided we would get right into I was going to say the interview, our guest, instead of pushing that off for a while. Okay. But we did want to let you know and talk a little bit about our YouTube videos, because we're still having so much fun doing them for you. And I'm getting more and more comments with each of the videos that are coming out. And the one that I have coming out tomorrow on my YouTube channel. And you know what? Instead of trying to memorize any kind of .com//c, all you have to do is go to YouTube and search my name, and you'll be able to find the videos. But
what's your name?
Is that a joke?
No,
Oh.
Judy Crowell. Yeah.
Yeah, just search my name, Judy Crowell. And then there are a whole bunch that'll just come up. And the easiest way to find the channel is to find the face of the person in a round circle. Just like you do when you see your own face come up in a comment like this. See, that little round circle is exactly what you see. Yep. And that would be an indicator of our channels. Mm-hmm. So this was a request from someone who watches my workout videos, and she said it would be really great if you would do a stretching video. Oh, we just froze. Oh,
did we?
At least on my screen we did. So let's see what happens when I bring this up, because this way I can show you a little bit of what's coming out tomorrow. Because people, since she was asking for the stretching video, I said, you know what? I'm going to do a whole video of nothing but stretching that you could do first thing in the morning, or you could do just before you go to bed, or middle of the day, just to kind of relieve stress, get off your computer, you know, take a moment to get the circulation flowing and the blood pumping and your mind calm. So that's the one that's coming out tomorrow.
Tomorrow at what time?
It'll be 8 in the morning Eastern time, 5 in the morning Pacific time. So it just gives you kind of a good idea. And it's great. Both men and women can do that stretching video. So there it is.
Walk your hands out a little bit.
That's fantastic.
And how about yours?
Well, mine always drop at 10 a.m. Eastern time on Saturday. It's called DC Gemstones.
Real gems versus fake.
This is the latest episode.
This is the latest episode.
Did get your attention.
Okay.
I think that this.
So this is one that they can go on now.
So right now and see it. And
to
a lot of people get
people that are in the
confused
gemstone
between
business.
synthetic,
But I promise
simulated,
you, if you watch
natural,
this,
man-made, lab
you're going to
created,
understand everything
and
you
we
need
cover
to know
all of that stuff.
about
And
what is
I'm going
real
to
versus fake.
shamelessly say,
Or maybe you've
I'm
heard
waiting.
Hold
the
on just a
term like
second.
synthetic and simulated, and that confuses you.
So one of the women who did comment on it, she said that she was really glad to be able to watch that because she was confused with real versus fake and synthetic versus simulated versus real, and what was real and what wasn't, what was man-made, what was designed to be used in lieu of that would simulate another stone, that kind of thing. So
I break it all down. It'll be simple. It's a short lesson. It's an easy one. And also, I am really behind Judy in subscribers. I need 13.
This is when the begging comes.
I need 13 of you to subscribe so that I can reach my first 100 subscribers.
Yes.
13 more. I think it's 13.
And then I think you'll get a notification from YouTube.
Really?
Congratulations, you hit 100 subscribers.
No, but we love sharing with you any knowledge that we can. You know, gems is a big passion of mine. By the way, still no word on what's happening with the Three Amigos.
Oh, okay.
So that's all I have to report right now.
Okay, that was a quick segment. But this was fun, and I don't think there was anything else. Except just the matchbook didn't work.
Matchbook didn't work today on the table. We'll have to even
that out. A little rocky.
And share. Feel free to share this broadcast on your Facebook page and all that.
Yes.
Oh, with the cooking. The cooking thing is coming out when?
Oh, we have a cooking segment.
A recipe.
It's a recipe, and you actually started all by yourself because we shot it on my birthday.
Oh, that's right.
And I was still sleeping. And he had the camera set up the night before in the kitchen so that all he had to do was start it and then do his thing. And then, so he made me breakfast that morning, but not just a regular breakfast. And that video is going to drop a week from tomorrow. So a week from tomorrow, Monday at 8 a.m., you'll see another one of our In the Kitchen with Paul and Judy cooking segments.
With the apron?
And no, the apron wasn't in yet.
Wasn't there yet. That's right.
No, it hadn't come in yet. The one, we have done another one where we're wearing our fun little aprons, and I'm still editing that video right now.
And I will say that
I'll let you know when that comes
it is.
out.
We finally shot Linda's goat cheese spread recipe.
Exactly.
She might disown that recipe after she sees what we've done with it. We'll let you know.
Yeah, it's going to be a surprise, Linda. I bet it's not the recipe that you thought we were going to make of yours. But if you have another recipe, you can always reach us on Messenger. So that's a good way to send something in.
And it's fun. We enjoy doing it.
We really had a good time. So definitely send them. We'll look at them and kind of go over what we think we can handle.
So stay safe, social distance and all that.
All that. Yep. Yep. This is a great way to stay in touch with each other, kind of take your mind off other things for a while. I saw somebody write in, laughter is really good. You guys gave us a good dose of laughter today, and we appreciate it.
And for those that say, well, why aren't you guys social distancing? We sleep in the same bed. What can I say?
No, there's that. Yeah, that would be weird, wouldn't it? All right. See you tomorrow, honey. All right. Take care, you guys.
All
Enjoy
right.
the rest of your weekend.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.